It's time for another tale from the glass-guarded world, with Brian as Paxton the human cleric and fighter, Danielle as Athelflad the halfling rogue and monk, Ashley as Tara Dane the human fighter, Chris as Aster Fortuna the half-elf rogue and bard, and me, Mike, as the DM. Our heroes have explored part of a building located next to the large structure that houses their own glass world, as well as many others. They've also defeated a ghost who seemed to know Paxton. And they've taken a long rest in an abandoned bedroom, while Epilema went to check on the refugees back in the first building. Epilema returned and told them that some monsters had attacked and killed some of the refugees who were exploring part of that building. The party rushed back to the first building and explored a dark hallway, encountering 3 Gricks, a shatter spell from Aster's whistling rapier and a fireball from Vizier Olgabar made short work of the Grick, and the party celebrated the victory. Now they are free to turn their attention to other matters. Olgabar says, well, that wraps that up. Good work.
Yeah.
Thank you for finding them and helping take care of them. I feel a good bit safer now. Now the question is, should we try venturing outside of this building? It's getting lighter outside. Or should we stay in here?
Maybe we should fully explore this building before we start heading out, because there's a whole wide world out there that we don't really understand.
At this point, you have seen all of the building.
I want to go back to where those pedestals were.
Okay.
Can I, investigate that area now that
Sure.
we're not dealing with this?
Sure. I'll roll an investigation check for you. You have no idea what these pedestals were for. Something was bolted to them in the past, but that's all you can determine.
How does it? Can I tell, by dust or anything, how long ago whatever it was removed?
It was a long time ago.
Okay.
Do we want to check out those doors that were around that room where Rickert was? Because we don't know what's in those hallways.
Oh yeah, and Olgabar owes me detect magic on that whole room.
Right. All right. Give me 10 minutes. I will give you an answer in a moment. Did you want me to go somewhere to cast that for you?
Yep. I got a whole room to show you.
Great. I will tell everyone what we're doing.
Yeah. Leave a backup guard.
Yeah, I'm Epilema, if you don't mind staying here. I'm going to go with them and do this detect magic thing for them and come back. And Epilema says, yeah, sure, boss. I'll hang out with the wimps. The refugees. Olgabar now goes through the hatch with you, down the hallway, up through the other hatch. And you come up in the other chamber. You walk to the armory, right? Is that where you wanted to cast the spell?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, when you walk past the sign that says, SL, ask Billy Bourbon Durbin before proceeding, he says, what's that all about?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe. Oh, what if it's an incantation of some sorts? Maybe a wizard.
SL asked
Doesn't sound like
Bill
any
the
spell
Bourbon
I've ever
Durbin
heard of.
before proceeding.
Maybe should we say that out loud? Maybe there's, I don't know. Think I'm thinking too much about it.
I'm not SL, and I don't know who Billy Bourbon is, except probably a goblin. Not goblin, sorry, gnome. A gnome.
So you get to the armory, and he casts Detect Magic and looks around the room and says, oh, that's interesting. That suit of half plate you're wearing, it's magical. And so is this suit of chainmail on this stand over here, and so is this shield.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything coming off of the scimitar that I switched out?
No.
Okay.
What's the shield
These
look like?
torches on the wall, these torches around you are already figured out that they're magical. What's the shield like?
Yeah.
The shield is a round shield with the metal bump in the middle.
Uh-huh.
It's a wooden round shield with a steel rim and a steel, I forget what it's called, and the boss in the middle.
You got identify?
I don't have any pearls on me.
I do.
Really?
Yeah. I could spare one.
All right.
Actually,
Or 3.
how many things do we have to identify in this room?
3.
one thing I mean, if you use equipment, if it's just like +1 or something, using it will let you determine what its bonus is. But if it does anything else, you'll need identify to help figure out what it does. But what would you like him to identify?
I want to identify the shield.
The shield?
Yeah.
All right. So he takes the pearl, he crunches it up, and as part of casting the spell, he just sort of squeezes it, and it turns into dust and disappears. He says, yes, the shield will work better than a normal shield. Basically, it's a +1 shield.
So it's +3 AC?
That's right.
Okay.
I point at myself in the plate I'm wearing.
I hand him another pearl.
All right. The half plate is also +1. So it effectively provides you with a 16 armor class.
Is the chainmail +1 too?
Do you want to cast another one? Use another pearl?
I hand him the pearl.
Yep. Right. So the chainmail is also +1. So it would effectively give you AC 17.
Okay. What looks better on me, chainmail or half plate?
Isn't what you're wearing chainmail right now?
What I normally wear, right, is chainmail.
I mean, it would match your picture, but I don't know.
Mhm.
All right. I start removing the half plate so I can put on the chainmail, the hustle and stuff. Wait. I ask him to clean it too.
Really, I'm helping you out, but I really feel like I ought to get back to the other group.
I really appreciate your help because I'm gonna be like saving the world and stuff.
You can go back. I can clean it.
All right, I'll make you a deal. All right, I'll do this for you, but I would really like you to figure out what is outside the building that we're in.
Okay.
We're going to do that eventually after we search these rooms.
We agree.
Okay, so you're going to go with me back over to the other building and search around outside and make sure that there's no imminent threat right outside the building?
Right outside, but then we're coming back here because we need to make sure there's no threat here.
Oh, all right. All right, so you walk back through the tunnel again, back to the other building.
Wait, he has to clean it before I go.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, he'll cast prestidigitation and clean up the old armor. It's in good shape. It didn't really require that much cleaning, but it does look nice and shiny now.
Who wants the half plate?
It would slow me down too much.
Epilema doesn't wear armor. She's not there, but she doesn't wear armor.
I think she could with half plate though and still rage, right?
I think she could, but she'd lose some other advantages.
Well, I want that shield unless someone else is interested in it. Does anybody want it?
I'm good.
The only thing that I'm concerned about is that my previous shield was my holy symbol. Could I carve the tree into the new shield?
Yes, you could do that.
Okay. Well,
it would take some time.
I leave my old shield behind in this room because I can summon it back to me anytime I want. So I'm physically carrying the new one.
Right. And if you need to cast a spell, you can just summon the old shield to you.
Sure.
Until you make the new one your holy symbol.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you pass back down the hallway. You go back up through the hatch. You walk down to where the hole in the wall is. Do you want to go out the hole in the wall, or do you want to go through the big double doors that are at the south of the building? Well, what we're calling the south.
I say hole in the wall.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Out through the hole in the wall. As you're looking outside, you step out through the hole in the wall. You step into this area where it looks like it's inside some kind of fortification.
Oh, I have another question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Do I have to be attuned to the chainmail?
No.
All right, good.
No, you don't. So as you step outside, there's a wave of cold air. You can hear that rhythmic roaring of the waves, the surf hitting the stone walls and the pile of stone and rubble. You can see there's a wall that looks like a fortification. In fact, it has a couple towers visible from here. You can see what looks like a shed and some sort of figure sort of sitting in front of it. A little figure sitting in front of it. I don't have this map ready for you guys to view, so sorry. You'll just have to imagine that as you step outside, look outside through this opening, off to the right is a small shed and the front of the building. And in front of the building, you can see there is more of this wall and some more towers.
From the distance, does this figure look like it might be like a corpse, or is it?
It's too far away to tell from here. You're a couple 100 feet away. You can just see there's some little figure sitting on a bench out in front of this shed-looking building.
It could be a corpse or a statue or...
Yeah, could be.
All right.
Olgabar says, all right, I'm going to go back to the refugees. And do you want Epilema to go with you?
Yeah, you can call her over.
All right, Epilema. And Epilema comes over. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to stroll towards the shed.
All right, so you walk toward the shed. This appears to be nothing more than a very well-built garden shed. It has sturdy stone walls and a slate roof. The door is painted a bright, cheery red, and it does not appear to be locked. It's even slightly ajar, the door. To the right of the door, on a stone bench, sits a statue of a gnome. It's wearing a bright green coat and a pointy red hat, and it's holding a pipe in its mouth with its eyes closed, and it looks satisfied. It appears to be ceramic.
It's a garden.
I lean up to the gnome and I go, "Are you Billy Bourbon?"
It doesn't respond.
I poke it.
All right, it feels like a ceramic statue. You can see inside as you're walking up and leaning over. You can see inside through the door. There are clay pots neatly stacked, some pitchforks, shovels. You can't see any more from here.
And they're our size, right? They're not like massive or.
Yeah, they are human-sized.
Okay.
Actually, no, they're smaller than average human-sized. There's some of both sides. Tell you what, Athelflaed, since you asked, I'll make an investigation check for you. What's your bonus?
+1.
Oh yeah, Athelflaed says. Actually, I shouldn't speak for you. Athelflaed realizes, looking, that there are basically two sets of tools in here. There are some smaller person-sized tools, and they're in really good shape. They all are clean and well-maintained. And then there are some human-sized tools, and they are all rusty and worn out and not in great shape. You find there are some shovels, hoes, tillers, scythes, bill hooks, some buckets, 2 steel plows, and a whetstone.
Well, great. Maybe we'll find a garden with some food for the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea.
The as you're in this area, as you notice the wall where it's collapsed. You notice the sky is starting to brighten, and it's brightening in the direction of the big double door exit of the building with the worlds in it. It's brightening in that direction. And there are little twinkling lights in the sky that you saw earlier. They're starting to become harder to see. You can see there's this giant, as it's getting brighter, you can see there's this giant mound of stone and earth and other materials where it apparently exploded out of the side of the building from which you came. With the growing light, you can see that it definitely punched a hole straight through the fortress wall. And beyond the wall, you can make out this enormous body of water. This pile of earth descends into that water. There are these huge waves, much larger than anything you've ever seen before, maybe 10 feet high, crashing up against the pile of rubble and the walls of the fortress, and it makes that pulsing, roaring sound. There may have been a dock or something here at some point, but whatever was there has been obliterated by that explosion of stone. As you look around from the shed, you can now see that around the corner from the exit of the building that has the worlds in it, you can see there is a pair of towers that flank an exit from this fortress. So there's like a main gate out of this fortress. And beyond that, you can see another building inside the fortress.
Just kind of using my cartography skills, do I think that other building might be the one that we were in through this like underground passage?
Definitely.
Okay.
So we've already explored that building to a degree.
Well, not thoroughly, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going around towards like the front of the building to see the double doors of this kind of
the world building.
Yeah.
The building with the.
I like to call it the observatory.
Okay. So you walk around to the front of that building. So there are these enormous wooden doors here. By the way, it's very cold outside. I think I mentioned that before. You can see on the top of these doors, above the doors in the stone, you can see the word Botelgrundus.
I'm sorry.
Botelgrundus. Botlgrundas. Botlgrundas. It's written above this sharp-pointed arch entrance. There are small drifts of snow scattered around. Tell you what, anyone want to make a history check?
Yeah, sure.
Roll a history check.
I got well, hold on.
Whoa.
I'm proficient, but it's an intellect thing. So do I not do the
I don't know.
subtraction? Okay, cool. I got a 15, so I guess it's just a +1.
I got a 21.
Great. Anyone else?
I just got a 12.
Well, actually, you all figured that. Paxton, what did you get?
A 6.
Okay, so everyone but Paxton realizes this is Old Common. And it literally means, if you were translated literally, it means grounds hall, but more loosely, it means Hall of Worlds. The steps out of this building, they end at this dirt path that you're standing on, surrounded by tall grass. You can see the small building, the shed, off to the side, And you can see this other building, which you think is the one you partially explored already, to the opposite side of the exit of the Hall of Worlds. All around this entire area are these 20-foot walls of this fortress with enormous square towers. The walls are in fair shape, but they've begun to crumble in a few places. It looks like it was a small fortress, and there's no central keep in the middle of it. The main entrance is kind of behind you as you face the Hall of Worlds, and it's flanked by, as I said, 2 giant towers, maybe 40 feet high. A portcullis and wooden doors were probably used here at some point, but now there's just this open, arched doorway.
I think we should go up the towers and maybe see what we can scout out of the general surrounding area.
That makes sense. I was about to try to scale the wall.
Yeah. Ground at the ground level, does anything? I mean, do we see any other like marks of creatures, like the gricks, or anything that might be a danger to the people inside?
Make a survival check.
19.
You see in the snow, you see some little footprints, but that's all you see.
Is it actively snowing?
It is no, just a few flurries drifting around.
Okay. Do these footprints look human or?
They look like a small humanoid.
Oh.
All right.
Look like they've got shoes on, boots even.
Are the holes recent?
There's a little bit of snow that's piled up in them, but not enough to cover them up.
I'm
so they're probably
following-
pretty recent.
I want to follow those tracks.
All right, they lead over to the shed and back, out the exit of the fortress.
The exit.
Yeah, out that gate, out that big
the front
arched
door.
gateway, the front door.
Gotcha. Okay. I do not suspect that the garden gnome came alive and walked around.
But we can't rule that out.
Don't rule it out. Do I see any? I mean, I guess it's snowing, but do I see anything that looked like it might have been the farming plot? Since there's a lot of like garden utensils. And
Not
stuff?
inside the fortress. No, you don't.
Okay.
Is there?
All right, let's go to the tower. I guess.
Yeah.
We already had to follow the footprints to the gate, so here we are.
So you walk up the tower. It has some stone steps inside it that are in decent shape. So you walk up the tower, you look out the arrow slits, or just step out onto the wall, looking out over the area around this fortress. You can see that the main gate, if you were to walk out of it, it opens upon the ruins of a small village. The streets are paved with large, flat, irregular stones. The remains of the buildings are also stone, except for their roofs, which are mostly gone. There is a circular well in the middle of the courtyard with a slate roof over it. It appears to be in good condition. There's even a rope with a bucket attached. Because the fortress is on top of a low hill and you're standing on the wall, you can see over all these buildings, and you can see spreading out beyond this town farmland.
If
Tara-
you said the town looked abandoned, right?
The town looks like it's mostly ruined. I'll get back to that in a moment. There appear to be some bright lights, however, scattered around this farmland. They don't look like lanterns or torches. They sort of glow in this over the farmland. They glow fairly brightly. The wind feels a bit harsher without the fortress walls to block it, and far, far away, just to the left of where the sky appears to be brightening on the horizon, you can see a strange, jagged, geographical feature, actually a bunch of them, sticking out above some rolling hills. These weird features, they're white on top. You'd guess that's probably snow. If you had to pick a word, you'd describe them as mountains, but they don't look like any mountains you've ever seen. The mountains in your world are enormous lumps of metal. These appear to be rock and soil and snow. Weird looking.
Tara turns to Aster and after looking at the ruined village and everything, and is like, I don't think this world's all that great.
I concur.
Yeah.
It was more of the fear that the life that I've lived was a lie, but it's real to me. 100%.
I wonder if something happened here and they were trying to figure out how to avoid it with all the little experiments they were running.
I don't
Like,
know.
We were having some our world was heating up, and it looks like their world maybe was cooling down.
You want to check the other tower and see if there's anything there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing of interest
Yeah.
in the towers. There's no weaponry or equipment or anything. Yeah, you climb up the other tower, look around, you can see pretty much the same view. Actually, from this side, as you look out over the square, you can see there are 2 more of those gnome statues, those little garden gnome-looking statues. One is standing next to the well, holding an empty bucket in each hand. It looks like a male gnome in mid-stride, just sort of walking along by the well, holding a couple buckets. And then there's another statue, it looks like a female gnome, actually sleeping next to a shelf by a building, and this shelf contains stacks of pottery. and both of the statues are brightly dressed, and they have those happy pointy hats. The other strange thing is that as you're watching, the sky continues to get brighter and brighter, and as you're standing up here on the wall, this weird yellowish, whitish disc, as bright as the sun in your world, slowly moves up from the horizon.
That's really weird.
Oh.
Why is the Oculus moving like that?
I don't know.
There's no hole in it.
Right. It's just this, there's no hole in the middle of it. It's not a ring, it's just a solid disc.
Huh.
And nothing else really seems to be going on. Actually, no. There's one other thing. In the distance, you hear this sound, this very distant.
Can we get that one more time?
Can I tell what direction it's coming from?
Somewhere in the direction of where that bright disc of light is coming up. Somewhere outside and toward those fields.
Nature check. Does this sound like an animal making this noise?
Make a nature check, sure.
That is a 17.
You're pretty sure those are cows lowing.
Whoa.
All
And
right.
where there's cows, there's cow soup.
Oh, God.
Let's hope not.
So I think we've looked at the immediate grounds.
Apolima
Okay.
says, wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Did you notice there are a couple buildings that are not falling apart?
Yeah,
There are
on the
two
village.
of these buildings that look like they're in decent shape. They're not all falling apart. Those two over there, she points toward a couple buildings. Those two big ones, the roofs are still intact. They still look okay. Somebody's keeping up stuff here.
Well, yeah, there are footprints.
Yeah.
So someone's here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good point.
But we should probably check out the closest building towards us because that's the most dangerous if there's any danger there.
Oh, yeah.
Do
All
we-
right.
Do we want to finish exploring the grounds here, like those unexplored rooms, before we leave this area? There might be something in there that can help us.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh.
The little the keep that we were looking at first. We probably want to go check that out because that's the closest unexplored building and before we go out into the city.
All right. Let's go. So Apolima walks up toward the other building, walks straight up to the front doors, says, "You want to go back in this way? You want to go a different way?"
Sure, why not?
All right. And she walks up to the doors, and she jerks on it, and they're locked. They're closed.
Both of the doors?
Yeah, the double doors at the front are secured.
Is it like a lock or do we think it's like barred on the inside?
You're not sure. Let's see.
Can I do an investigation?
Yeah, investigation to check for traps and the door and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Aster, you're pretty sure they're locked but not barred.
Got it. Athelflad, do you want to open the door? Or do you want me to open the door?
I'll go ahead and open the door.
All right.
You
Make
got
a
it.
tool use check, your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity.
That would be 4, and then
Aster, are you giving
I'm
aid?
assisting. Yeah.
All right, so you roll with
advantage.
advantage.
he is 13.
All right, so you need to roll again and take the higher of the two numbers.
That was the higher.
What, the 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a 1.
Nope, this lock is too sophisticated.
Can I give it a shot?
You can try, yeah. I'm not going to give you advantage on this check, but you can try.
Okay, and it's
Can I? I'm
proficiency bonus
gonna
plus.
bless him.
Bless or guidance?
Or guidance, yes,
All right.
guidance. So add a D4 to it.
Got it. And I haven't used these tools in a while, so it's proficiency plus.
Plus your dexterity bonus.
Okay, and then
And a D4.
you got. Oh, that's a lot. 27.
Wow. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, Aster, you realize that this lock was actually almost open already. You just needed to move one tumbler, and the door clicks open. And you open the doors. This is an entry hall with an impressive vaulted ceiling. A rotted circular carpet lies in the middle of the room, as well as two decrepit, unusable couches to the north and south. Enormous bronze doors, impressively made. There are the large wooden doors that enter back into the main hall that you went through before, the room where you fought Rickard. So if you were to enter this room and go through the doors opposite you, you would go back into the main hall. There are carvings on the doors, by the way, that depict 4 scenes. On the inside, they depict 4 scenes. There is a scene of a young female human wizard copying scrolls, a slightly older male human wizard casting a spell before a crowd of robed onlookers, a middle-aged female half-elf sorcerer teaching a group of younger wizards, and an old male elven wizard standing atop a tower casting a spell at the sky above.
Huh.
I wonder if this was like a university or something.
And it's just as cold in here as it is outside, but at least there's no wind.
This was scenery, like paintings?
These are carvings on the back of the doors, the inside of the bronze doors.
Got it.
There are 4 magical torches on the walls, and they light the room pretty well, but there's no heat from them.
Yeah, let's go back to the which hallway y'all want to go to.
But first, I pull the carpet.
Oh, you look under the carpet.
Yeah.
Stone.
Oh.
Paxton is very worried, very paranoid.
So which way do you want to go now? You want to look in one of those hallways? The north or the south hallway?
I go right.
So you go down the hallway to the second door on the right in the main hall, and now you're in a long hallway again. There is a door at the end of it, the far end, and then there are 2 doors on the top or north or right side of the hallway.
I take the first door on the right.
I'm trying to find these gnomes.
Okay.
Aster Fortuna, gnome hunter.
You open this door. So this is a simple Spartan bedroom with nothing more than a cot, a small table, and a chair. Ethelflad, this reminds you of a monk's cell at the monastery.
I let the party know that.
It's really Spartan. It doesn't look very comfortable.
I mean, I'll search the room.
Okay.
Investigate it, rather.
All right. I'll just roll perception checks for everyone to search the room. Yeah, it is really basically empty.
All right. I move on.
Next door in the hallway. This is about the same thing. It is only slightly larger. The only other difference you notice is that, aside from the size, is there is a wooden chest by the outer wall of the building, but it's empty and open. Again, it looks like someone has come through here and taken stuff. Next door?
Yeah,
Yep.
forging ahead.
Yep, same thing. It is another cell, and it's like the first one in that it basically has nothing in it at all, not even the empty chest.
So the way that these doors close,
Mhm.
are you able to open them from the inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can open
So
them
they're
from the
not
inside.
like prisoners.
They're
or
not prison
anything.
cells, they're monk cells, or something like a monk's cell, right? Where it's just a Spartan room where you would sleep with no comforts.
But it looks like these rooms have been rummaged through.
Yeah, so there's nothing of value in any of them. There's nothing under the pillows, nothing in the sheets. There's just nothing there.
Does the open chest that we saw, I'm assuming there's lots of dust on the floor and
Yep.
on the top of the chest. Is
Yep.
there dust inside the chest?
Yeah, it's been a long time since someone went through here and looked at it.
Are
Okay, so
we-
it wasn't ransacked recently.
That's right.
Okay.
Are we seeing any of those tiny footprints?
Not in here, no. If anybody's
Mhm.
come through this area, it's been a while.
All right. In the room at the end of the hall?
So this is a 5-foot by 5-foot room, almost like a closet, except that there's a basin of water 2 feet tall that fills the floor area. The water appears to be crystal clear.
Is my hand dirty?
It's not real clean.
I'm going to stick my hand in the water.
All right, it feels wet.
I'm gonna like rub my hands clean in
All
the
right,
water.
you clean your hands. The water appears to be unaffected by any of the dirt that you have now soiled it with. The water just appears to remain perfectly clear, and the dirt just disappears.
All right, everyone can take a bath.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna prestidigitation myself clean.
Well, not everyone can do that, okay?
My filth adds to my AC.
Now what?
Uh,
Other
us-
hallway?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'm guessing this is just a, where you
Yeah,
said it was like
basic-
a university.
Yeah,
it
the
seems
other
like
hallway is
dormitory.
the same kind of deal. You find 3 more empty rooms. You find that there is another water-containing room at the end of the hall with the magical cleaning bowl basin. The only difference that you notice is that one of these rooms, the room farthest to the west, the one that's closest to the water basin, it's just another cell, it looks like, but it's slightly less Spartan than the others. The sheets on the cot are intact and they are neatly made. There is an inkwell on the table with a quill pen in it, and there are several blank sheets of parchment lying on the table, as well as an opened letter.
Ooh, what's the letter say?
Well, first of all, the folded parchment is labeled to Rickert. There's a wax seal, now broken, and the wax seal depicts a wand crossed with a sword. The letter is written very neatly in a practiced hand.
I just want to look at what the signature is, whose
Yeah.
name it is.
Well,
say
I
it's
will
from?
give it to you. Who wants it?
I would give it to Paxton so he can.
All right. Let's give that to Paxton. Or you can not read it if you think Paxton would rather have it not be read aloud.
Well, I'm over him. I'm
Yeah,
next to him.
I'm assuming that if I didn't read it aloud, it would be very suspicious. So I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay.
First and foremost, though, it is from Baratrend, which is the person that Rickert was talking about. I think,
Mhm.
right?
I think, right?
Yes, he mentioned a person named Baratrand.
I wrote
Rickert.
Bertrand.
Yeah, I thought it was
The
Bertrand.
name
too.
Bertrand comes from the name Baratrand, so that's fine.
Rickert, though it pains me, I have left the hall. None know when more ships shall land here. Mayhap I shall join the Urbanimars. No doubt they couldst use both sword and spell. I durst not ask you again because I know you wouldst say nay. You are stubborn and unforgiving, both intolerable and admirable. No doubt the gnomes will keep you fed. Let us hope that the wards and doors keep you safe. A wise man keepeth his Dwemer about him, like his armor. Not sure what that word is. I'll pass the letter around afterwards. I hope for your sake that Strethok and his experiments remain below. I pray you do not venture down, nor let up the aberrations below. Stay you in the Hall of Scholars, and venture not to the Hall of Worlds. They are dead, and if not, they can only want vengeance if released, or cause disaster if damaged. Let no one say that 'twas I that betrayed you, or you I. We have always been brothers. If you tire of this place, hie to the Brimbergs and seek me there. I shall pray to you. Pray to me. Baratrand. So it sounds like this Baratrand person can be found somewhere else if this letter is recent.
This letter does not look recent. In fact, it's kind of crumbling in your hands.
Oh boy.
Something about these experiments below. When he says below, he doesn't mean like in the vicinity of where the glass rooms are, like where the
Well,
glass worlds are.
He does say stay away from the Hall of Worlds, which is
Yeah.
what it's called, but he also says below, which is confusing.
Yeah.
And he said if they escape, they will want vengeance, which makes me think that this has probably happened before. We may not be the first refugees.
True, and from what it sounds like, if below means the Hall of Worlds, then, and I'm not sure that's what it means, but if it is, then we're probably the nicest group to emerge because there's a blown out wall, a village in ruins.
I wonder if it was the last group of refugees who destroyed the wall and blew up the village.
It could be. At first, I thought that maybe people came, humanoids came and pillaged this place. But it could be the people who escaped the world before us that makes a more plausible story.
It definitely said that the gnomes will keep you fed.
Yeah.
And we found those ceramic gnomes, so I'm wondering how they would have kept Rickert fed.
Do they come to life? Are those stone gnomes alive? At first I thought that maybe Tara was joking around, but
Maybe they used to be.
Yeah.
Epilema leans over to Athelflad and says, "Hey, what are they talking about?"
Do you want to read the letter, Epilema?
You know I can't read.
darn it.
I also wonder if Rickert, how long Rickert has been undead, and if that's the case, if he was undead at the time that this letter was written, if maybe the gnomes will keep you fed means something other than, physical nutrition.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's like a mystery trying to put this together.
I want to look around and see if I can find a below. Like a trap door or any just going all
right.
around this.
Where are
freaking
you
thing.
searching?
Anywhere.
You gotta be more specific.
Everywhere.
You search everywhere.
I am
Lift up
looking
more
under
rugs.
the beds
All right.
and all the.
Tell me what you're doing, everybody.
I think maybe that throne chair in the main hall might have something about it.
That's a good plan.
Do
All
we
right,
have-
you're gonna go search the throne chair.
Yeah, see if
All
there's
right.
any switches or anything on it.
Maybe move it.
Yeah.
Instead
All right,
of a
so
rug,
let's
it was
see.
the chair.
That chair's gonna rue the day it crossed our path.
Aster has a hard time getting. I think he's a little bit grossed out by the remains that are stuck to that chair. He decides not to take a real close look. But Athelflaed and Paxton, the two of you take a close look, and you actually find something on that chair. Under the left armrest of this big chair, you find a switch.
Is it like just like a regular
It's
two-way?
it's just a little two-way wooden handled switch.
Hit it. I go to reach for it without even thinking.
You flip the switch.
Oh,
All right, you flip the switch.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't help myself.
You just did what we were all thinking.
I want to high five somebody. Is what I want to do.
As you flick the
High
switch,
fives all around. This is what I was missing from before.
as you flick the switch onto the armrest, the curved wall behind the chair shimmers and becomes blurry.
Ooh.
And Epilema says, "Whoa, that's weird, man. Look at that."
Do we get any physical sensations?
No,
No?
just the wall
blurry?
becomes blurry and shimmery.
I try to touch the wall.
Yeah.
There's no wall there.
I guess we can walk through.
Yeah.
All right, you walk through the wall.
That is not below, but okay.
Not yet. Maybe there's stairs.
You find another room.
What?
Yeah. You flick the switch, this wall becomes permeable. You walk through it. The room on the other side is about 20 feet east to west and 40 feet north to south. There are two simple, undecorated double doors in the opposite wall, and these are flanked by these now familiar magical torches. The room otherwise appears completely empty, just these two doors across from you.
Can we investigate the room?
Sure.
I want to look for feet.
This looks like nobody has come through here in a long time. You are disturbing the dust as you walk in, and there is no sign of recent footprints. The room appears to contain nothing of interest except for these doors. They are apparently unlocked.
Okay.
Tara sneezes.
Yes, there's lots of dust in the air.
Can
Does
I
Tara have a dainty sneeze or a giant impressive sneeze?
That's a great question. I mean, I think it depends on the situation. But she's gonna try and hold it back and
Okay.
like sneeze into
Make a
her-
Constitution check.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Oh, that's cocked. That's a
very
20.
cocked.
Oh yeah, she suppresses that sneeze. You guys aren't even aware that she was about to sneeze.
I can I do something? Can I step back out of the shimmer?
Sure, you step back out of the shimmer.
Can I do a perception check just to see if someone's been trailing us?
All right, you look around. You don't see any signs that anyone has been following you. There are no more footprints in all the dust. It looks pretty quiet. Sounds very quiet.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I shout back. Hit the switch. Hit the switch.
I slap the switch and go back in.
The wall becomes solid before you can get to it.
Okay, now, because we're on the other side, I'm like hitting the wall. Is it
It's
solid for
solid.
us? Oh, well, you can
Ooh.
trap someone in here.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I shout, hit the switch again.
You don't hear anything, Aster.
Oh, okay. Well, the door is solid now, right?
There's no door. The wall is just solid.
Well, I wait like a few seconds and then I hit it again. Well,
All
I
right,
don't
the
wanna
wall
be
starts shimmering again.
We do not want to get trapped on that side of the wall.
here. Yeah, this seems like if we walk through and then the reason why I'm looking around is I don't want anyone to trap us or to come in after us. This sound feels someone needs to stay out here just in case.
Epilema, you look tired.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired. Is right.
Why
You-
don't you take a seat on that chair?
Maybe don't.
Instantly dies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Becomes
Move that
the-
zombie butt out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that tired.
Would you mind staying on this side of the wall for us, Epilema?
Yeah, I guess I can do that. I can hang out here.
Appreciate it.
How long you want me to wait before I come to help?
Maybe. Like, you think 10 minutes?
I was going with an hour.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wait here. I don't know how long an hour is exactly, but I'll guess.
Just count.
I'll wait till I get bored. I'm bored. Well, I'll keep waiting.
All right. I go hurry to the doors
You
before.
hurry to the doors. You open the doors. They are unlocked.
That was a big room.
Whoa.
For the listeners, I have a map visible to them. I'm making it visible. I will nonetheless explain it so that you understand what they're reacting to. So the double doors swing open easily, and you enter the largest room you've seen in this structure so far, even larger than the main hall, perhaps 110 feet wide and 50 feet across. The ceilings here are also vaulted, but this room is not built to impress. It is undecorated and functional. 2 torches light the wall on either side of the doors, but unusually they emit a green light. This light matches the most obvious feature in the room, a green septagram on the floor, surrounded with runes that make up its sigil sequence. This is a permanent teleportation circle.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Next to the septagram is a small table with a hooded lantern on it. There is a flame in the lantern burning brightly, but no visible source of fuel. There's no oil reservoir. There's also a book on the table with a bright blue cover next to the lantern. There are 2 wooden cabinets on your left and right, next to the green torches on the wall. On the wall across from you, behind the septagram, are 2 normal-colored torches, and they light 2 large suits of armor. Each is painted with red highlights, and each holds a greatsword. There's also a cot along the east wall to your right, and it looks like it hasn't been used in a long time. At the north end of the room are 3 large wooden crates, 3 bed frames, and a bench. At the south end of the room is a square table with 4 chairs, and you can see playing cards, a wooden trencher, which is basically a wooden plate, and a glass pitcher on the table. Finally, in the southeast corner, there is a circular stone stairway leading down.
There's the down.
Yay, kind of.
Okay, so right before we make any movements, one time I went on an incredible adventure to find my weapon of choice, and in that adventure, we found these sigil things on the floor that would teleport us to different places inside the building, different levels. But that's not to say that if we step on one of these, we're going to be teleported around the room. Instead, might be teleported somewhere completely random. And
Aster, I would like you to make an Arcana check.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Arcana check?
Yes.
Ooh. Let's go with 19.
19. All right, here's something you know about teleportation circles. Some of them work like the ones that you were in before.
Yes.
The where you just step on it and you disappear. But some of them, especially ones like this one that have this very careful sigil sequence around the outside of it, some of them require you to be able to cast a particular spell and memorize the sigil sequence in order to use it. In other words, this sigil sequence that you see written around the outside of this septagram, if you knew that sequence, you could cast that spell and teleport to this location if you had that memorized. Now, if you wanted to teleport to a different location, you would need to have the sigil sequence of that location memorized. Now, you don't...
Kind of like an address.
Yeah, it's like an address. This is the address for this teleportation circle, and you need to know that address in order to teleport to it. You also need to be able to cast that spell.
Got it. So I relay that information, but I also tell them that also those suits of armor in that place on my grand adventure, we also faced suits of armor that came to life and attacked. Let's just be careful in this room.
Yeah, this is a super magic place, and that sounds like a magic thing that can happen.
Yeah, so, tread lightly.
Yes.
I want to look at the book on the table.
Okay, you pick up the book. Inside are a bunch of magic runes that all look like septagrams, arranged in a circle like septagrams, and they mean nothing to you.
It's garbage. I'll put it down. I pick up the lantern.
All right, the lantern is a hooded lantern. It emits a bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for another 30 feet beyond that. And the hood can be lowered on this lantern to dim the light in a 5-foot radius.
Trying to decide if I like it better than my magical torch.
It's much better than your magical torch.
Yeah,
you can
moving
basically
on up.
dim it to show light only in a 5-foot radius, or you can have it show at least some light for 60 feet.
Which one of you guys want it? I'm kind of looking at Athelflaed or Aster.
I'll take your torch of light if you want to go ahead and grab that thing.
I mean, if you want it, I don't need it. I have Richard.
I'm not a sneaky kind of person, and Athelflaed, sometimes you are. So I'm gonna give you the sneaky lamp.
All right, thank you.
All right, what else you want to do in here?
There's cabinets, right?
Cabinets, crates. Yep.
Yep, I ransack it all.
All right, so let's start with the cabinets. The cabinets are filled with rotted clothing. Robes in a variety of colors. Some have the symbol of that crossed wand and sword. Others have the following symbols: a skull, an open eye, a marionette, a flame, a shield, a line with a point at both ends, and a closed eye. Aster, make an Arcana check.
You got
I'm asking you because you're the most arcane-oriented character.
it. 18.
You realize that these symbols represent the schools of magic.
Oh.
Necromancy, divination, enchantment, evocation, abjuration, transmutation, and illusion.
That's cool. I relay that to my group.
The armor, I assume you're going to approach it sort of carefully.
Yep.
It doesn't do anything.
Okay, cool.
It just looks like armor. It's nice armor.
No, you said it was holding a weapon or?
Oh, they're holding great swords, yeah. But it's just standing there. It's just mounted.
Got
It
it.
just seem like standard great swords.
Yep. There's also this set of crates to the north. There's a set of crates, and there are some bed frames. There are little containers around the room, but none of them contain anything interesting. The crates appear to be closed. That is, they look like they haven't been opened.
Pop them open.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
I got a crowbar.
So Tara and Paxton, you walk up there to open these crates. Tara, as you put the crowbar to this box, your crowbar is stuck, and a giant pseudopod reaches out from this crate and swings at you. Roll for initiative.
Cool.
Dang old mimics.
You've been attacked by mimics.
That's cool. If that were funny.